Welcome to Using CASPER Reports for Data-Driven QAPI, Part 3, Tracking and Trending CASPER Data. Our objectives today are to learn how to use an Excel spreadsheet to track and trend CASPER data and to identify how the data trends indicate the potential for performance improvement projects. Many of you may already be tracking and trending your CASPER data. In this presentation, I'm going to share an Excel spreadsheet created specifically for tracking and trending the CASPER data. A run chart has been added to provide ease for trending. The metrics used are the facility percentage, the state average, the national average, and the comparison group national percentile. This is a screenshot of a simple Excel table with CASPER data from a rolling 6-month time period for high-risk pressure ulcers across over a year's worth of time. Many of you may already be doing this type of tracking and trending. However, it is difficult to see and highlight changes in a meaningful way. That is why HealthInsight created the Excel tool. Here is the same data with the addition of a run chart. The peak for prevalence of high-risk pressure ulcers in June and July is now obvious, and this picture can generate meaningful discussion for improvement activities. This graphic display adds the comparison group national percentile on a secondary axis to the right. Remember, quality measures that flag at or above the 75th percentile draw the attention of surveyors during the survey process. How might this display change the conversation about improvement? Or this display. This is the same data, but imagine it is in real time and we have just seen the measure flag last month. We acted quickly to do a rapid cycle PDSA improvement project, and it has dropped slightly this month. That gives new meaning to this original display. Now we can provide a picture of results for a performance improvement project. I would like to share a few more examples of how a graph can stimulate discussion and investigation into systems and care processes. This is data from a different nursing home. What might this data indicate? Has their resident population changed? Did they open a vent unit? Did the wound care nurse quit or go on medical leave? Are these pressure ulcers facility onset, or were residents admitted with these pressure ulcers? These are all discussions that can help to determine what we will do for performance improvement. The data might also indicate inconsistency in processes or care practices. This data from 2 different nursing homes was presented during the live presentation, and someone suggested that the resident with recurrent falls was transferred to the other facility, which is why you see a peak and a trough. While that might make us laugh, it's important not to assume that this inconsistency is based on 1 or 2 residents who are in or out of the facility. It is important to explore causes and implement targeted solutions that address the underlying cause. When I look at a display like this one on falls with major injury, I think this nursing home must have discovered how to prevent falls with injury because of the downward trend, rather than the sharp decline seen in the previous displays. I would want to celebrate with my staff and look to see if we've also decreased falls. Again, did this facility implement an improvement project, or did they just get lucky? Watching the upward trend on urinary tract infections and the length of time that passed before there is a downward trend in February of 2018, do you think the facility may have benefited from seeing the facility average and the comparison group national percentile together in this graphic display? Might someone have prompted action sooner to improve care processes? If this was the data for your facility, how would you lead this discussion? Without knowing any information, the data seems to show an issue with residents needing more help with ADLs in May. It must have been an anomaly since everything was okay for the next 5 months. But then what happened? Was May a warning about a weakness in our systems or processes related to maintaining function? Is it an MDS coding issue or a documentation issue? Looking at this data can help to guide a discussion and drive investigation to develop your performance improvement project. Before we end this session, I want to take a moment to highlight the importance of multiple metrics. In looking at this data for urinary tract infections, it appears that the facility has done a great job of improving by returning to their previous percentage. Something to celebrate, right? Adding in the comparison group national percentile paints a very different picture. Now we see that although the percentage of UTIs in the resident population has decreased, it has always flagged above the 75th percentile. This nursing home still has improvement work to do on care practices to achieve outcomes below the 75th percentile. I want to encourage you to use the visual display of data to explore process reliability. Having 1 month flagged above the 75th percentile can be an opportunity to look closer for an explanation to avoid the possibility of having an upward trend like we saw earlier. Is this a warning that we missed something in orientation to care, orientation to documentation, or use of the electronic medical record? Be proactive in your approach. Here's another tip about being proactive. There is an approach to quality improvement called Safety 2. Consider implementing this when you look at this type of data. Safety 1 is all about looking at what we are doing wrong or what we are missing and changing that so we do it right. Safety 2 is all about identifying what we are doing well to make sure we keep doing it and even explore how we can spread those practices to other areas to get better outcomes. So if your data looks like this, consider applying Safety 2 principles and build on a good thing. This is considered a more effective approach to quality improvement by some. Thank you for your time today. The Excel tracking and trending tool used to create the graphic displays in this session is available for download. Use it well, and remember, your state lead is available for technical assistance.